Blessings, my powerful MVP family. Thanks to all of those who have currently joined the family. Thanks and welcome to all the new subscribers. I see you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And for my old diehard family members, thanks for keep coming back. Thank you for supporting. Thanks for sharing the videos and just contributing to the conversation. I cook my untraditional dinner. Didn't get much views there. Highlighted Kayla doing her timetables and just giving a shout out. Didn't get much views there because that's not what interests people. But there are things that I do here that interest people, and when I do them, people come and the conversation is rich. So thanks everybody. Thanks for watching when the conversation is rich, and thank you for also watching and supporting when the conversation is not so exciting. I appreciate each and every one of you. So please remember to watch this video, like the video, share it out, and more so, please contribute to the conversation. Leave a comment, ask your question so we can revisit. Now, yesterday I did the video on Nurse Pat, Miss Murray, whose life was taken away from her in Ocherius, Pyramid Heights, Ocherius. As I did the video, I did mention some things that didn't make sense to me, especially the security forces, right? Because on their site, they mentioned that it is a gated community. But as I looked at the development there, it didn't strike me as a gated area where there was security and all of that, because they even mentioned about the well-kept lawns and stuff. But maybe that is to come, but it's not there yet. So I looked and I saw that it was just like people buying their land and were creating their own homes on the space. But because it mentioned gated, I did kind of mention gated, and I thank all of you who jumped on and said it's not a gated space. Because again, Mr. Allen, who was killed in November, my God, you know, I'm saying if it's gated, where's the security, and why is, you know, not that security can stop things if people really want to get in and hurt people, but at least the police should be able to have found the people. Another concern I have, which maybe is for another day, is all these returning residents who are here on the island, and they have been murdered, and months later, nothing. I went back to check in on Miss Dawn from the UK, who came here and was murdered by her husband, and they claimed his twin brother. But I'm looking for updates, and there's nothing. It just stops at police are investigating, and those two are are people of interest. But where's the follow-up? Have you caught them? Have they been, you know? Then we had I look back at even Miss Angie in St. Mary, who was a teacher for over 40 years, and her throat was slashed. She had a stab wound in the chest. Somebody took her life there. She had gone to the police many times to report the threats on her life. Nothing was done. Same people whom she used to go to are the same ones who are investigating. And until now, nothing. This is the end of January almost. And no updates on the information, nothing. And so I'm just saying, you know, Jamaica, we got to do better. People want to come home, but they want to know that they are safe when they get here. It's not easy. You want the revenue from from what they're coming home to spend. You want that. So why not make it a safer space for people to come home to? I know you can't control everybody, but you know the consequences have to mean something so that people are deterred from doing these things. So, looking back at what took place on this demise Saturday, there was cameras in place, right? But one of the things that we also knew is that she went to the bank and drew $1.3 million. $1.3 million she took out. She also bought building materials. So is it because she was planning to have men coming to work and needed to pay them? What happened? Why so much money? When we know, I've done videos about the tellers. I've had experience from close people who went into the bank and a teller was brave enough to say, oh, what you have in your account is X amount, so many thousands less than what was in the account. So we know that the deviousness of people, the wicked hearts of people will allow them to do anything. I spoke about, I remembered when I came in 1999 and I worked as a teacher into 2000 and then I went back abroad. And there was a teacher who went to the bank, we got her pay and she went to the bank. And just how she deposited and withdrew money and put it right exactly where in her bag she put the money. When the thieves came upon her, they didn't search anywhere in the bag more than they went right into the space where they were advised that the monies were put on, whether they were watching and just this, But I'm saying it is just sad. So I've done videos where I said, guys, you come home. There's nothing wrong with paying the little fees on your card because you go to the bank to open accounts. It's an interesting adventure. It's an adventure. And so why not pay the little extra fee? Stay with your foreign card with your PIN and all the information there. And just pray to God and hope for the best. And just use the card to pay. Learn to go online and just pay the bills. Learn to go online and go on and check your daily balance or set up for the notifications. When you have notifications every single day, you will get a notification on the activities that are taking place in your bank account. You don't even have to walk into a bank if you don't choose to. The most you might need to go to a bank for is like $50,000 to maybe tip somebody if they help you with something, or or something simple like that. Maybe help a child going to school to pay a bus fare. But you don't need millions of dollars to be transported on your body from one point to the next point. When we know this is a country where people will watch you, they'll target you, and the next thing you know, you're gone because of these monies. If you have people coming to do work for you, don't use people who do not have an account where you can just transfer the money to. That's even a better way, because when you transfer the funds, it means that you can have a record. You can have a paper trail. People can see you didn't pay them, or you owe them this, you owe them that. Use your card, and when they come to do work, when you are hiring people, make sure they have, listen, I don't keep cash at home. There's nothing wrong with not having cash at home. Make people say you're poor and laugh at you. That's okay. But make sure that they have an account where you can transfer that thing without handling at exchanging 1 penny in cash. Don't do it. So I just wanted to talk to us today. I'm going to talk about the camera system. Again, guys, I've seen people with cameras, but the cameras are also attached to the phone. When my camera was attached to not only my phone, but my children's phones. I remember I was selling the truck. I was helping a young lady, so she didn't pay full for the truck. So I said, come and take it and make the payments. When they showed up to the house and she came out of the vehicle she was in and approached the steps in the front porch, my son called me immediately, Mommy, is everything okay? I said, why, son? He says, why is that person so angry? Who is that person? Why are they so angry? Is somebody there upset with you? And I just smiled and I said, thank you, son, for being, for staying alert. my system, they could talk, they could listen to the conversation, they could talk to the person or talk to me. I could be there and I'm talking to the grandkids out there. You know, it was set up that way. So if somebody is there who shouldn't, what have you, my son is reaching out, my daughters are, hey, do you need something? And so as we create these systems, guys, we're coming home and we're getting these systems. Yeah, they're fancy and they're nice, but make sure that there are things that is able to be used to at least support you when there's an emergency. That somebody, as soon as they pass these camera systems, that somebody is alerted. And once they're alerted, even if you're out there talking to somebody else, or they're watching what's going on in real time. And they can be able to deter something, because when people know they're being watched, they behave differently. And so, my God, I wonder if somebody was able to just see that the cameras are activated and notice strangers were in the yard and just take a moment to continue watching until they exit from the premises, if it would have made a difference. So guys, I'm doing these videos. I don't know. As I said, I'm in a community where, you know, it's what it is. But as I said, I came home. I make sure I have nothing down here. I have children. They're able to support whatever needs to be supported. If I need $50, I can reach out and say, guys, you know, I need $50. But I don't need to come home to a poor country, a country where there's so much strife and the scamming and the unnecessaries, and come down here to flaunt money that we know it's the root of every evil. It's not the money, you know, it's the love of the money or the hate of the money. Because I think when we say the love of money, when you love money and you use it for good, it's good. But when we hate money, it seems like we can't bear to see others with it. We have to get it, and when we get it, we don't do a darn thing with it. There's nothing like constructive that we do with it. So why? Why are we hating the people who have it? And yet we take it and we're not opening a store. We're not buying a couple buses and put on the road. We're not doing anything constructive with it. So today I wanted to just talk, you know, about technology surveillance and financial security. Could modern innovations have saved Nurse Murray, fondly called Miss Pat? Would that have saved her? In the wake of tragic incidents, you know, society often questions how modern technology could have potentially altered the outcome of many situations. Could the integration of real-time surveillance notifications alongside better financial security practices have saved her life and prevented her from becoming a target for crime? So the potential role of technology in safeguarding personal security and finances deserves a better examination. We got to look at these things, which I probably have summarized it already. But because I went and did some research and I have my, you know, me with my pen and paper, right? Could it have made it different, right? Could the notifications going to loved ones coupled with the modern banking practices like daily balance updates and digital payments could have dramatically changed the course of the events? So I've touched on all of that real life surveillance notifications. As I said, my sons are connected to my cameras. I didn't just buy a camera for myself. It's not connected to the police station, but I needed people to see what was happening and to make sure that if I'm not able to call out or to reach out that at least they can see faces, or they can say something, and to see hopefully if the perpetrators, if it so happen, would be deterred. Every day we get up, we're praying for God to just watch over us, build a fence around us, and to just keep us safe. Just keep us safe. I say often, people, they'll rob you. All right, so you rob and you take the money. Leave them with the life now. Leave the life in them, man. Just leave the life. Maybe you, same one, a few months later, will come back and rob again and might be able to find $100 or $200 because you left their life in them. But when you take their life, what do you expect to get again? You take their life, so there's nothing more for you to come for. So again, as I said, had her daughters been alerted in real time to any unusual activity, might they have been able to intervene early. The technology could have provided critical moments of response, whether by calling 911, taking other protective measures. The question remains, however, whether this would have been enough to change the outcome. Would it have been enough? And people are wicked in the heart, and they set out to do evil things. It's like they can't stop. They can't stop no matter what. Even if they know people are watching, they just can't stop. They have to, their minds are made up for one thing and for one thing only. And that's what they're going for. It doesn't matter what is going on around. That's what they are after. So, would it have been unavoidable, regardless of intervention? But nevertheless, guys, the idea of giving loved one real-time insight into a vulnerable individual's space could prove a life-saving measure. It could. We never know. Then we look at the financial security and modern banking practices. I said it in a video. Returning residents, especially, I'm speaking to them. You're coming home. Stop working so hard and not equipping yourself, educating yourselves about the use of technology. Stop it. You work and you work and you put away every penny. And people reach out to you for help, and you say, nope, me not have it for nobody. Me I put this for when me retire, and this for when me this for when me that. And you put so much into saving and cutting back and saving because you want to go home to Jamaica, you want to buy a big house and you want to live good. But one of the things when you come home, as I said, don't think that everybody is happy for us coming home. Don't ever for one moment think that, yes, you go to church and you this and you that, and you're driving a nice car, you're going through. Don't ever think that everybody is happy for us. The people in the chat yesterday, from the video yesterday, who, one person said, oh, they show off, they come, they drive the big car, them driving. And it kind of irks me because I think that, you work hard and you have your money and you deserve. How is it the scammers drive Benz and BMWs and nobody worries about that? Nobody's angry at them. Nobody calls them show off. But a reputable citizen who works hard and wants to drive a BMW and wants to, then all of a sudden they're show off and they're all these other things. How is it different? How is it different? People, please, let us put ourselves in people's situations before we reel off and talk about, it's nobody deserves to lose their life over their own things. Their own things. Nobody deserves to be called a show-off over their own things. Yes, we encourage caution, and this is why I'm talking about this now. The common sense has to play a big role. We have to understand that we're coming into areas where poverty reeks. You're going to have thieves. You're going to have people whom the government has not provided opportunities for. And that doesn't give them a license to come take other people's things. Why not come and ask, is there any work I could do so that they can pay you a little bit or something? Why don't you go and look at those things instead of just making up your mind to just rob them and just take away their dignity and then take their life with it? A lot of people would want to, yeah, come cut the grass for me, my son. Yeah, me need so and so. You can, little things. You get a nice dinner because they probably have maybe $50,000 in their house. You don't need to kill someone for $50,000. $50,000 is nothing. It's $5,000 bills, and by the time you do something, it's done. Sometimes it can't even last for 2 weeks. It's done if you're somebody who out there and spend wisely. You have enjoyed it and say, yes, this is for the month, and it have to serve for the month. So we have to, but let's not put people down and yeah, they make mistakes. We had Miss Dawn who married somebody who pretended to love her. Pretended. Because they had it all planned out. They had it all planned out. So for financial safety, guys, I'm just saying to you, don't work your behind off through the cold, through the sleet, through the slip and sliding, through the abuse from patients that you work with every day. The abuse of children who, along with their parents, you have to put up with the disrespect. You have to put up with the demands from administration and all the rest of it. So much stress. But you work through it because in your head, you know that one day I will be able to retire from all of this and go back to Jamaica. And all these plans that you're doing, and all the washing machines and the this and that you're planning to ship home and live this grand life, be smart. Educate yourselves with the things that will help you to not be handling cash so much, but to help you to know what's going on and to, just to work with people whom you can work with without running to the bank. People coming to do jobs, they charge you $600,000 and they know you're going to the bank to join, are the same ones who will set up somebody to come hijack you. So you have to be smart. They come in with a contract. Okay, how much are you charging? 100,000. All right, and we'll need your account information so I can transfer you the half before when you start, and the balance when the work is finished. Just like that. I don't keep monies in the house, so I'm not going to be able to pay cash. Well, I need cash. Okay, then let me get another contractor. That's it. So Nurse Mary, like many individuals, may have been exposed to unnecessary risk by carrying large sums of money. $1.3 million should never be on anybody's person in a casual way, in a like, just, I'm going to the hardware store and I'm going home and I have that money in my bag thrown down there. No. In the modern age, the ability to track and manage finances through digital notifications and real-time transaction alerts could have helped her avoid becoming a target for theft or financial exploitation. For example, many banks today send instant notifications for any transactions made, especially if you're abroad. I don't know if it's Jamaica because I don't understand some things here in Jamaica. But if you stay with your account abroad, you'll get that notification. Every little thing that goes through, you get a ping. Da-da-da, 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 outside of the 50 states of America. You open, you look at it, you say, oh yeah, I did pay that. So they do send you the notifications. And so it allowed the account holders to detect fraudulent activity quickly and track your balance and manage your financial resources. If she had received daily notifications about her bank account balances and tracked that, so she could have quickly identified any unauthorized withdrawals or suspicious activities. Such notifications would have enabled her to take swift action, perhaps, it's just what it is. So she didn't have to go withdraw the funds. Furthermore, the modern practice of using digital payment methods such as debit and credit cards eliminates the need to carry around large sums of cash. Not only does this reduce the risk of theft, but it also provides a detailed transaction history. It creates your paper trail. When you transfer that 500,000 to Mr. Mac can't say him never get it because, oh, but here, sir, on this date, this was transferred to you. No more arguments. It's there, it's record for you. It stays in your record as long as it needs to stay there. And so, by paying for services with a card, rather than drawing these huge sums of money, and becoming a target for criminals, she may have minimized her exposure to financial risk, and the ability to is a key to protecting oneself from both physical and financial harm. So again, as I said, the integration of modern technology, when we use technology to help us in our personal life, it is interweave. It becomes, everything becomes better for our well-being because they're all intertwined, right? They're able to, the technological part of it sends out notifications, and these notifications will alert you as to what to do, how to do it, where to do it. You'll also be able to involve other people. I know somebody who has alarm system that when we stayed there for a few days. I'm sorry. We stayed there. We stayed there for a few days, and at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, we hear this loud, whoop, whoop. Man, that thing, we jumped up out of the bed. I was in one room, my daughter was in the other, we jumped up. And the person for the home, she says, it's a croaking lizard that always, that time of the morning, always crosses on the alarm on the system, and it triggers the movement, and so it just blares. Man, it doesn't matter where you are, man. You have to take a moment to look. But the Charles Fort Lauderdale Gardens again. Blessings to you, my friend, Miss Marver. See you again. Your notification just came across my screen. Guys, go over and support her if you haven't subscribed to her channel. She does a lot with gardening in the backyard. She has guava, she has papaya, she has plantains and regular bananas. She has red callaloo, green callaloo. She has it all in that garden in the back. June plum, naseberry, coconut. I think, yeah, she has a coconut tree there. But she has it all. She and her husband, they plant everything. Potatoes, sweet potatoes. She has her Spice Garden, they call it a name, but she does very well, guys. So go over and support the Charles, Fort Lauderdale. Please tell her Miss Bev sent you. So I am just saying, so it's just saying to me, like, you have your alarm system, just make sure that it is set up and it can, I mean, when you let people in, then it's hard for it to do, but at least it can show whoever you have on this alarm system, it can show them that something is not right. It can show when something is not right. So real-time notifications from surveillance cameras can alert loved ones to potential danger, allowing for prompt intervention. And then the use of digital banking services and the avoidance of carrying around large amounts of cash will significantly change or reduce your risk of becoming a target for crime. We know they're out there, money, that's what it is. They want to do their drugs, they want to drink their top shelf liquor, they want to go pay for whatever they're paying for. What they're not using these monies to do is to open up employment opportunities, to build raise them chicken or them cow and goat, whatever they want to do, but they're not using it for greatness. They take it, and then by the time you look, the money is just wasted, and they just sit around and wait for the next target. And so as society continues to embrace technological advancements, it is crucial to remember, guys, how these innovations can help protect vulnerable individuals and prevent tragic outcomes. A lot of us talk about, me not do this, me not do that, me not do, me not do. And we stay behind the times. Times are changing. People, we started out with little kerosene stove. Sometimes it blow up, so the pot them black like I'm in an office. Your nose get black because the oil overpowers the thing, and but then people gradually said, wait a minute, we can do this. Remember when we used to cook in a kitchen, was just the little fireside with your three little stone, the stuff you put on your pot pan fire. Now look at these guys out there in the woods cooking. Look at how many pots they're making up one big old fire. And putting everything first. You put the food on the fire and you cook. Then you have to wait for take off the food and for cook up the meat. Because we weren't creative. We weren't thinking. We were just looking at things one way. But over time, people have have come up and they think and they create. And as they do that, life becomes better. You're looking at cooking out there, and instead of waiting for one pot to be done, then put another one, then put a big old fire, and everything is cooked. Everything is cooked and is hot and served hot. Because you're not waiting for one fire to be done and waiting. You make up your big thing and you go. Right? Years ago, things were so different. Things were different. Today, things have evolved. People are smarter, they're wiser, and they're taking little things to become very good things. Don't stay behind and talk about, you're not do this, you're not do that. Rise with the times. Rise with the times. Fall in place. And do what you need to do. Stop sitting behind her. I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to use that. Me master, me not go on social media. Me master, me no want my picture to go there. Me master. And you sit in the dark ages. Me not do. If you have vital information, jump on social media and share. Jump on social media and share. Who wants to watch? You have nothing to, what do I have for anybody to want to come and, if you have something to share it. A lot of times what we share helps many others. So let us not shy away, guys, and just find faults and point fingers and stay in our little safe corner. There's going to come a day when you have to step out of that corner. Will you be prepared? So as we consider these new innovations, guys, remember that they can help protect vulnerable people and prevent tragic outcomes. So while we can never be certain whether these measures would have saved Nurse Murray's life, they represent a smarter, more secure approach to personal safety. We have to, and financial management in this increasingly interesting world where people's hearts are failing them for good deeds, where people's hearts are just filled with blackness and wickedness, where people will stop at nothing. Your family members that you just finished feeding, they will set up people to hurt you. They themselves will hurt you. Because a lot of times people are not happy for your prosperity. Even though they got their share and they squander it out and and they do what they do, when it's over and they have nothing and you took time with your little bit, they're going to be begrudging your little bit. They're going to want it, and if you say you can't do it, then it becomes a war. It becomes a hate. And so I'm just asking, guys, that so listen to the sound of my voice. I hope something I've said will resonate and will help us to use common sense more than to just think in the moment that, oh, I have, and so I can do what I want to do. It's hard. It's hard. It's a lot of things, and as I said, I grew up in poverty. I've said often, at 14, my grandmother couldn't afford a pair of shoes for me to go to school. Even if I get a little, them used to call them puss. It was a little crepe. A little crepe something. I forgot what the name of it. But it, and if she gets me one of those, you're talking about me living when it takes like a good mile to come out of the bushes to get to the parochial road. And parochial roads weren't nicely paved roads. They were more marl and stone road. And so when I get out from where my grandmother's house was to get onto the parochial road and then to get to the main road, that little shoes, that little crepe, we used to call it crepe, that little crepe couldn't last. I used to have to carry it in my hand from up in where we live and walk with it in my hand, come down to the gate to enter the parochial road. And then I wipe off, I have a little piece of cloth, I wipe off my foot, and I push my foot in and go on. You couldn't play in it, you couldn't do, you go play, you take it off, put down. And when that mash off of my foot, which is within a month, because I was a strapped-in girl, I wasn't skinny, but I was husky, I was a strong kid. And so when that done, granny don't have no more. And so I have to run to school barefoot, 14, 13, 12, 10. I have run barefoot to go to school. So I didn't have much of anything. And so I grow up knowing I can't hold on to stuff. I can't have too much and somebody or a little kid doesn't have lunch for school. So I never got riches. I never got riches. Because if people reach out to me, I'm going to try. They don't even have to reach out. I was reprimanded this week. This week from Saturday, from Friday until yesterday. I was reprimanded about just freely doing. Just doing too much. Just freely, even when I don't have a lot, don't have much, but still making sure. And I was reprimanded so many times. You need to stop it. You need to stop it. You need to stop it. If we can be good, we got to be careful. Walk good, and keep doing good. But just remember, technology is there to support us. Use your card for transactions. Learn how to use the apps, the bank apps, and read your notifications when you get them. There is no reason for us to still be illiterate in these days and times. Learn to use them. Do not go to the bank and keep going with drawing all these. Don't set up. Don't put butter in front of puss. Don't do that. Use your card for your transactions. Whether you're building a house, whether you just use your bank card for your transactions. It will help you in the long run because you're creating your paper trail and you're preventing being targeted. If you have security systems, make sure the notifications are set on your systems. Make sure they are set, and make sure that you're not the only one getting the notifications. Make sure the notifications are going to your children or to somebody who have your interests at heart and who can intervene right from where they are on your behalf. Take care.